What up, my boys? Welcome to another part of the build. I haven't been in the garage since the last time when we discovered that everything froze, and now it's warm in here, so that's great. We gotta give a huge shout out to Christopher LaRue. Yeah. He noticed how we didn't have a transmission mount. He had one, and then it was cheaper just to buy one and send it to me, but he was like, man, I got you. I'll hook you up. And look at that. He sent us a rubber transmission mount. So now we don't have to steal one off the Supra, and we can keep all the transmission mounting hardware for this car there. So that's kind of neat. That's awesome. That's kind of cool. That's cool that I have subscribers like that. Thank you guys so much. So I actually haven't looked at the block in the Supra yet. I'm kind of nervous. So we should probably do that together. On the plus side, my Holly ECU is about 4 hours away from here in Edmonton, Alberta. Don't know where the torque converter is right now, but that's good news. So as you can see, everything melted out. So to put things in perspective here, the coolant wasn't full to the top in this car. Some of it pushed out and I just didn't refill it when we were at the track. So this top tube here was pretty empty. So we might only pushed a little bit of coolant out, but the hardest thing is we won't be able to see the block, I don't think, because there's an engine diaper on this thing. But the fact that the coolant is still in here and not pushing it through the block anywhere is probably a good sign that we didn't crack the block in this thing. So that is a great deal, because that would have been a shitty season. These things keep disappearing. I assume these are like, you know, those little bobby pins that girls have in their hair and they just fucking lose them everywhere? That's what a Sharpie is for men. I bought some Canadian Tire buckets. We're gonna drain the coolant in this to pull the radiator out so we can mount that fan. Car's not high enough to fit a bucket underneath it. So we gotta jack up the front too. Oh, look how cute, a little tiny pee hole. And well, that's taking 4 years to do pee hole things. We're gonna work on the fuel tank and the fuel system. I also bought some flat stock to do some aluminum things and some steel things. I forgot to buy hose clamps when I was at Canadian Tire. Shit. Anyways. Let's see if this fits. It still doesn't fit. That's really odd. Why would they sell me a hanger that doesn't even fit? I'm confused with this On 3 kit. It's like the tank is too shallow. Maybe I have to dent the tank down or some shit? I don't even know. And it's not like we can make the pumps any shorter, because look how short the distance is between the hoses that need to go on there. I'm silly. This is still the same filter bag as the original one that I put on there, I think. So you can see that this one, how thick it is right here on the end. This is the new one I got. It actually fits a little slimmer on there. So this is the difference between the new one and the old one here. You can see the new one and the old one. Maybe we can get it's probably a good like 1/4 inch lower, which is like the distance that we need. And then it seems like when you push down flat on this one on the bottom, it actually closes up the hole that it's trying to suck through. Yeah, close up the hole. Let's try this one instead. This is the actual ones that I ordered. This is the one that came with the pump, so that's why I screwed up. This one makes it fit now. It's a little bit spaced out, but there's still a gasket that goes in there, so I think we're gonna be fine with this one. Yeah, so we'll get our 2 pumps in there. Okay, here's another silly problem with this hanger. If you go to put 2 pumps in side by side, it won't actually fit 2 450 pumps in here. They actually hit each other. The more and more I dig into this, the more I wish I would have just drilled the tank for like a -10 fitting and put an external electric pump on it. Now the next problem is gonna be to get these filters to fit. I guess I could just cut off this like holding on tab so I can rotate them. Yeah, I think that's what I gotta do, because they fit on there pretty snug anyways. But they won't line up to the top hat holes here with the hoses, unless I can rotate the filters into each other, and then they don't fit at all. We'll cut one of them off anyways, see what happens. Whoever designed this is a little bit crazy. Like, why would you ever turn the pump so that both feeds are facing the same way? Because this doesn't fit on there at all. What in the actual... Because these hoses are straight on now. It's so stressful, oh my god. We just put a little bit of a twist to her and then it kind of fits on there. Need some hose clamps though. I need to find instructions because I don't have an adapter for this plate to bolt on. I'm watching the Fab Forums right now because he's doing the same thing. Apparently the fuel level sensor is an additional cost on here. Why couldn't they just give me a plate to adapt this one there? Okay, so this is what we got for now. I don't have any 12 gauge wire here, so I can't run the second pump. And I don't have any more hose clamps, so I can't block that off. So the sender, I literally just drilled a hole in it and put a self-tightening screw in it. And that's our sender, okay? It's not gonna reach all the way to the bottom of the tank, it doesn't look like, unless I tilt it. There we go. So that's our pump for now. We're gonna put this to the side. We don't really need to do this yet. I'll wait till tomorrow to go to Canadian Tire again. But we're gonna grab that radiator out of there and start working on that, and we'll get the other side of our intake piping done as well. So we'll just put this to the side for now. Or in a box or out the window or through the windshield of my Supra. All that time and barely anything came out of that, so it's gonna be bad news bears. Or not. So the plan here is going to be put these fans on like this. Utilize these side mounting brackets. Take some small angle aluminum and just weld that on. Both sides. We'll bust out the brand new Sharpie pack. Because I don't know where all my other ones went. Measure out the length of the average, what the man says his wiener is. 10 inches, right? About right. And we'll cut that off. I'm not cutting anything without safety glasses on. Because my girlfriend told me not to. Let's not spend too much time on something this simple. Also, I did get some brushes here. One of these I'm actually just going to write aluminum on it. Well, I'm not going to write full aluminum because I don't know how to spell that. So I'm going to write ALUM. Now we know this one's for aluminum only. I probably should have put it up here, not where I grabbed the handle. And these are just stainless steel brushes for cleaning aluminum. Well, I have one for aluminum, one for steel. So yeah, something this simple, we're just going to keep it simple, obviously. Just put this on here. That'll bolt up. We'll bend down this edge right here and we'll just weld it on. It doesn't have to be crazy perfect or anything. It seems like the perks of being able to weld aluminum are awesome. We have both our things mocked up. We're just gonna clean up some acetone and see if we can tack weld it on and then maybe fully weld it. Kind of scared because if I do, then I don't want to ruin the radiator. Don't want to ruin the radiator, son. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a go. Worst that can happen, we ruin the radiator. We'll get a bigger one because we moved the turbo and we could probably fit a bigger one now. Because my stupid ass bought it on our old radiator setup. Whatever, man. Just gonna rub it all down with some acetones. Acetones! I have enough paper towel that I'm not getting on my hands, so that should be okay. I should probably grind that sticker off. I messed it up a little bit here. I didn't have enough amps and I messed up the end, but we'll get it going here now. I know what to do. Shit, I just went from here all the way to here. Granted, I put two little holes in it. That's because there's a bit of gap there, but it started getting consistent right here once I started feeding the filler to it. We're starting to learn how to do things. And besides the point, that should hold. That's plenty of strong for our stupid fans. So I'll finish up welding the other side because I just have it started on both sides. And it's another task out of the way. I can smell antifreeze. I'm actually like burning the antifreeze on the inside, but look, you can see it's smoking. My radiator has an addiction. I love welding. Welding is fun. Watch me go! Okay, we got both ends of our fan welded in here. It's kind of whatever. Aluminum's definitely going to take some practice. I eventually want to be able to build my own catch can and stuff, so hey, why is my hair all funky? And while we're in here, we should probably mount our transcooler. So that's just going to go back here somewhere. We might have to bend up this power steering line to give room for the transcooler between the intercooler and the radiator. And I might, because our turbo's over here now, I might move the radiator over so we can fit our full-size battery here. A lot of you guys said move the battery to the trunk. However, if you move the battery to the trunk and it's not in the stock location, you actually need an external shutoff at a drag strip. I don't know how strict they are on it, but some places won't let you drag if you don't have the external shutoff. So it'll just save time and energy if we just put it back here and move our radiator over a little bit to the center. It'll probably look better. And the mounting was bad. I also bought this for the radiator. These are actually rubber isolator bushings. Let me open them up for you. Rubber isolator bushings. It's in there, and then there's a rubber between this end and this end. So we can use these as well to mount our radiator. There's paper towel and stuff in the turbo, so don't worry too much about that. So realistically, this is how I want things to fit. I bent up the power steering line. It's just pointed straight up. I can mount that somewhere after. This side is where our transcooler is going to go. From up here to down there, I can just weld those two bars that I have in place, right to here, to here, to there, to there. And then this, I somehow want to make fit in the center here now. And then we have lots of room for a battery there. We just have to notch out our cap again over here. And then we have tons of room over here. The only thing we could get away with if we move the radiator over some more is if we put a really tight radius 45 right here on the inlet, we could probably get away with putting a filter down here somewhere, an air filter, but I don't know if that's worth it. I think this is going to be much better here in the middle. And then if we do change the angle of our piping here to go down beside the shroud, we'll have tons of more room right here too for piping. And then this is still our wiring. One of these is for the headlight, I think, and the rest I don't even use. It's just a ground. So there's a lot of things I can splice out of this harness too that will come eventually as well. So I think we should get our transcooler mounted first. It's just over here. There's already 2 bars on it. I'm going to measure them. I'll cut them where I need them, and then that's pretty much it. Just weld it on as it is. So out you come again. If you'll come for me, please. We'll tape up this throttle body just for you guys. Mainly for me because I don't want to get stuff in it, but just for you guys. We're actually going to pull this off too because it's only 4 bolts. This thing's going to mount somewhere right here. So our pieces are long enough here. The only thing is this fitting is hitting up there, so maybe I'll move this down a touch. You know what I'll do? I'll just use the other holes on the bottom here, and then I'll drill new holes for the top, and then I'll come back and redo it. This was on the Supra at one point in its life. I actually ran 2 transcoolers on the Supra. However, since it's mainly on the drag track, there's no reason to have 2 big transcoolers on it. We recording? Yeah, boy. See if you guys can get in there a little bit. So we just welded our little, this one's welded actually on the other side. Then the bottom one, I did blow a little hole there, but whatever. We'll probably end up taking this off just to paint these so they don't rust out. We also welded the little cooler just to this straight up bracket, so that's out of the way. Now we gotta figure out something for our radiator. So what we're gonna end up doing is re-putting on things that we cut off earlier. We did cut these off. They were out to the side like this before. I cut them off, but I think we're gonna weld some back on like this so that we can use our rubber isolators to mount it straight up and down, kind of like we do with this mount here. So what I'm doing here now is I'm just welding on these little 90 pieces. That way we can put our isolation bushings into this and then into a flat piece that just goes from the bottom to the top like just how we did the last transmission cooler. Put some weld on here. I'll probably just do it the way they did it here. This isn't as thick, but I mean, really, how heavy is a radiator? Oh, it wasn't cool enough. Now my welds aren't perfectly clean. I'll show you here. My welds weren't perfectly clean. I think we got a bit of contamination in there. You can see it burning off. I don't think it's gonna be an issue. We'll run it. Oh, I can even weld right here too. Make it a little bit stronger. This was angle iron to begin with, so we gotta make it a bit stronger. Don't ask me what happened there, I don't know. We got aluminum welded. I did realize I had to do a lot. Like these ones came out okay. Yeah, these welds came out okay. I had to use a lot more amps on the backside because this bottom piece is so thick. So to get this to melt, I had to use a lot more amps. And then because there was this layer and then that layer as well, so I just used a ton of amps to get it to penetrate in there good on the backside. The next thing is going to be put it in place, get our uprights measured out, and then weld uprights in as well. It's the next day, we're feeling refreshed, and we're just gonna hammer it, getting hammered. So we're just drilling a couple holes in here for our rubber mounts. I also did that thing today where I sat on the couch for like 2 hours, and I was just like, oh, the garage. And then when I got out here, I was like, man, why didn't I come out here like 2 hours ago? Getting out here is the hardest part. Let's get it in here for measurement. That's silly. Oops, it might be a little bit too long. Okay, we got our brackets all welded in here now, so this is gonna be our final test up to find out where the holes are for our mounts. There we go. I'm gonna use that marker. Okay, so there's no nuts on this side yet, but you can see that the rubber bushings are in there between this and this piece of plate right here. I do have to get some shorter bolts, but you can see they're in there too. So who likes this setup better? No radiator's gonna be rubber mounted. It did move over a little bit, so our full-size battery's still gonna fit here. That's good. And then this hose still fits, so that's also good too. We might have to reroute our intake piping to come 90 here and then down through this area though. And then our hose should still fit as well, but it's stupid and big. Now that I can weld aluminum, I can weld like a pipe that goes from here straight across this, turns here, and then just one piece of hose. I gotta pull this all off to paint it anyways. That's where I'm gonna leave my homies. I literally just painted the bay, so, well, I didn't paint the bay, I just painted the parts that I don't want rust on. Like the welded parts and the clean metal, okay? That's what I did. That's what I did. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I don't know why, because we've been at this so long now. That's probably why you're not subscribed, because it's taken me forever, isn't it? Yes! I'm sorry about that. I'm literally gonna go inside, I'm gonna edit this part of the video, and then I'm gonna smash a Red Bull, and then I'm gonna go to Canadian Tire, and then I'm gonna come back out here and film some more. So currently it is, I gotta make sure nobody texted me. It's 11:39 a.m. in the a.m.s, and I'll probably be out here till like 6 in the p.m.s. So hit me up in the DMs. Just like smashing out the rhymes. The torque converter, it should be here today or tomorrow sometime, so that's great. That's like a big thing, so we can button up the whole back end of the car, the drive shaft and everything. And I'm getting excited. I like weldy stuff. I might actually change the mounts on the intercooler as well, weldy those up. But as for right now, the way it works, and it can always be changed after. It's not something that's in dire need of changing right now. Let's do it, boys! Oh wait, I mean, peace easy and get that V.
Oh, yeah, get it.
Oh look, here's one of my missing Sharpies.